I'm starting today with a reading called A Prayer by Robert R. Walsh, a Unitarian Universalist minister. I am wondrously wrought, partly shaped by my biology, partly shaped by my culture, partly self-shaped. I am so wondrously fashioned that the workings of myself amaze and confuse me. I know I have power to choose among many paths in life, yet most of the time I'm on automatic pilot, acting out of little examined assumptions, beliefs, rituals, myths, appetites, and impulses. I can meet life in many ways. I can be tough-minded. I can be tender-hearted. I can move between activity and quiet. I can express my uniqueness and individuality, and I can forget myself in commitment to family and community. I can judge, I can bear witness to the good and evil around me, and I can forgive. I can analyze, theologize, figure the world out, and listen to the still small voice of conscience, intuition, Holy Spirit. All these ways of meeting life and more are part of the potential that is me, but I am afraid to move very far or very fast from the ways that have become comfortable. I seek the self-knowledge that may illuminate new possibilities in life, and I seek the courage to try them. Most of all, I pray for wholeness, for a life in which my many ways of living can be connected and filled with the meaning of the holy creation. When I think of renewal, our theme for this month, I remember a story that's been told many times. There was a little girl, there was a teacher who had noticed that some of the kids were bullying others in her classroom. And so they decided to take a look at it. The teacher stood up in front of the class and held up a sheet of paper. Pure, nothing on it. But then she asked the children to talk about what words might hurt them if someone else said them to them. And so one by one, the children started saying slurs and angry words about other students. Teacher crumpled the paper a little bit each time. Each time one of those ugly words were spoken, she crumpled the paper until it was nothing but a little ball. What can we do to fix this? Well, she tried to spread it out, but it didn't look quite the same. Those words made a lasting impression that could not be removed, even with words of forgiveness. The wrinkles are always there. As we go through life, everything that we experience, good, bad, or indifferent, affects us in some way. It puts a wrinkle in our life story. We never really start anew, but instead we build on our experiences. We incorporate the wrinkles into our own story. Each of us has a unique story and unique ways that we have learned to incorporate new events as they come along. Do you ever feel stuck? Has life gotten into a rut for you? Do you continue to do the same things day after day, week after week? Yeah, I see some nods. Many of us here are retired and perhaps retired. What do you do with that retirement life to keep from getting stale and feeling like you have no purpose? Some of us manage to hang on to the spark we had when we were younger. Some don't. From a Google search, I found this AI summary. Retirement can be a time of significant life changes, and for some, it can be accompanied by an increased risk of depression. While retirement itself doesn't directly cause depression, the associated changes in social roles, financial situations, and health can contribute to its development. And it's not just retirement. It could be the day-to-day drag of a boring job, the repetition of household tasks, or even a life full of activities and social engagements. In any case, do you ever find yourself asking what it's all about? Why are you here? Where's the meaning? If not, consider yourself among the blessed few. Let me give you an example from my own life. Since we moved to the Villages about 7 years ago, I've had difficulty finding something that feels meaningful to me. I've done various things here at Tri-UU and activities in the Villages, but nothing really felt like it was what I wanted. I had decided after retiring from ministry that I was not going to take on leadership roles in another congregation. I had enough of committees, enough of board meetings. I wasn't going to do it, no way. I've worked behind the scenes. You see me back here on AV sometimes, and I've worked on the newsletter, but not really in leadership. But this year, when our congregation was looking for people to run for offices for our elections, there was no one who volunteered to be treasurer. It was a real problem. Jake had been doing the job for 5 years. 5 years. A year beyond 2 terms that were expected or that he had signed up for. And still no one came forward. We were at the point that we were given serious consideration to hiring someone outside to come in and do the bookkeeping. This started a little worm going in my brain. Could I do this? Did I even want to? I'm not an accountant or a bookkeeper, but my background is in math and computers. I'd helped my late husband, who was an accountant, with data entry and some other tasks in accounting, so I knew a little bit. But I'm old. Can I learn something this complex now? But I didn't want us to have to pay someone else. So, taking a huge leap of faith, trusting that I could learn what I didn't know, and with promises of lots of help, I volunteered. I took over in April, and the learning curve has been even steeper than I expected. I have ranted, cursed, pulled out my hair. I've spent hours with Jake on the phone and with Maria helping me out to figure out some things. I even called UCLC's treasurer, Chris, and asked her if she could help me out. I've been on the verge of quitting, just saying, take it back, I don't want it. But alongside that frustration, as I have begun to learn what I was doing and make sense of it, there has been a deep sense of accomplishment. Taking on this task has given me an unexpected sense of purpose. Do I recommend that everybody learn accounting now? Nah, of course not. But I have always contended that if I have ever stopped learning new things, I may as well throw in the towel and give up on life. And I'm not quite ready to do that yet. We use the word renewal in a very similar way to the way we use revival, which literally means to give new life. Google says that revival is, among other things, renewed attention or interest in something. It's my thought that the two meanings are intertwined. Starting to learn something new or reviving an old interest that you set aside for some reason can each help to uplift your spirit. So let's go back to the stories I told earlier. Vashti and the dot, and the crumpled up paper representing bullying or any other hurt that comes along in life. Picture life as an onion, not one that you peel the layers off, but one that you build the layers up. You start out blank, usually with a smooth layer, and I've lost my papers. Here we go. And as we go along in life, you add new layers to this. You build up your life experiences. Some have some writing on them, somebody else's influence. Some of them are fairly smooth. Others are wrinkled before you even try them on. But you build it up, and your life goes along, and you have this person who is built of many layers of good things, wonderful experiences, disappointments, and hurts. These are our wrinkles. They remain a part of our total self. They're not necessarily visible to the outside, but they're there. We learn to go on in spite of the wrinkles. Last week, Reverend Christina talked about rest as renewal. I totally agree with her premise. My body, with its own peculiarities, demands that I rest more than some people. But if I just gave in to that totally, I'd become a vegetable, a slug, doing nothing but resting. I need to keep adding layers of learning, growth, and development, and searching for my truth. Where are you in your growth? Are things going smoothly? Wonderful. But if you're in a wrinkly spot, perhaps it's time to pull on another layer and start with a dot.